right, welcome back, third graders. I'm gonna fix my camera real quick. I think you can see me. All right, so we are continuing to work with perimeter and area. Our focus now is on still on area. So this is Monday. This is January 11th. And we are going to be working on lesson 28. It is a blue page in your IReady book, and this is page 288. And we're going to go all the way to 291. So let's start on 288. All right, we have a rectangle. Our rectangle, notice, does not have squares this time, so we're going to be using our length times width. You can use models to help you multiply to find area. The model below shows the rectangle covered by 1 square centimeter squares. So what they did here is they took this measurement and they saw that we needed 2 rows and 4 columns. So they came down here and made 2 rows and 4 columns. So you can draw that picture and you can go ahead and put your squares if that helps you. So here they have one started, and you can see that the length of the rectangle is 4 centimeters and the width was 2, so that's how they figured out they needed 2 rows and 4 columns. So there's really nothing for us to do on page 288 except just review over length times width. So let's go to 289 and let's look at number 2. It says, how many 1 centimeter squares fit along the length? Remember, length is our long side. So the length of that rectangle had 4 centimeters on that longest side. So we're going to put a 4. I'm going to do it in red. I think I like red better. 4 centimeter squares along that length, the long side. What is the length of the rectangle? Well, it would be 4 centimeters, wouldn't it? How many 1 centimeter square? This is number 3. Fit along the width. Your width is your short side, and I believe it had 2 squares on the shortest side. So the width would be 2 centimeters. What does the problem ask you to find? It's asking us to find the area. That's what we're working on, area of the rectangle. Number 5, the unit of measurement for the length and width of the rectangle is centimeters. What is the unit of measurement for area? When we're doing area, we're counting squares. So our measurement is still going to use centimeters, but they're going to be squared. So we're going to put squared centimeters, and I'm just going to abbreviate that as cm because I don't have a very long blank to write in centimeters. Number 6, complete the equation below to find the area of the rectangle. So remind me, what was our longest side or our length? 4, that was on number 2. Times our width, that's our shortest side, that was number 3, 2, equals, so let's do our multiplication. 4 times 2 equals 8 square centimeters. Number 7, the area of the rectangle is 8 square centimeters. So we're just going to write our answer down again. Number 8, explain how you multiply to find the area of a rectangle. So we multiply length. This is our song, tells us that to get the area, we multiply length times width. We just need to remember when we're doing area, it's length, the long side, times width, the short side. We multiply length times width. Okay, this is going to go away, so I can scroll down. Number 9, at the bottom, what is the area of the square? So remember, we're going to do length times width. So this is a square, so we don't really have a longest side, but we just need one of those. So I'm just gonna pick one of the threes. You don't know which one because they're both 3, times the width, which is 3 also, because it's a square, and 3 times 3 equals 9. Another way you could do this, if you wanted to model or draw a picture, or ask you to do, if you know that you need 3 rows, you could simply make 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and 3 columns, and then we could go through and count our squares, and those answers should match, because 3 times 3 is 9, or 3 rows and 3 columns is also 9. So our area is going to be 9 square units. Does anybody remember how we can abbreviate that? How we can write it so we don't have so many words? You remember what I showed you before we got out for Christmas? Remember the floating 2, the little 2 that's up in the air? We can do that. Oops. We can put our label and then put the little floating 2 like that, and that also means square. Number 10, we don't have a picture, but we could always draw one. A rectangle has a length of 8 inches, so that's my longest side, and a width of 6 inches, so that's our shortest side. What is the area? So to find area, we're going to do length, that's our 8, times width, that's our 6. And what is 8 times 6? Remember that one? That's the snowman and the chef. The cake is 48. So 48, our label is inches. So I'm going to put IN for inches and then the little floating 2. And that's going to represent square inches, or inches square. That's page 289. Okay, let's move on. We're going to do 2 more pages. This will be 290. Still doing area, still looking at length times width. Says they're going to show us 2 ways that we can do area. Let's see what they look like. Tyler's bedroom is 9 feet wide. There's my width, and 9 feet long. So it's a square. Both numbers are the same. Suki's bedroom is 8 feet wide and 10 feet long. Who has the bedroom with the greater area? So we're going to need to find the area of both of our bedrooms. And they tell you again, length and width, length and width. So now we're going to actually start working our problem to find the larger area. So number 11, what does the problem ask you to find? It's asking us to find out who has the largest area. It wants us to find the area of both rooms and tell whose is the largest. So who has the largest area? What units are used to measure length and width? Did they use inches? No. Did they use centimeters? No. What were they using? Feet. They were measuring in feet. And that's typically how we would measure a bedroom, is using feet. So what unit should we use to record the area of this bedroom? Well, since we're doing area, we need to make sure we're doing square feet, right? Because we're counting the squares. So we need square feet. 14, let's break it apart. Let's look at Tyler. This one wants Tyler. So I'm going to underline Tyler so we make sure we're looking at the correct person. Go back and look at Tyler's bedroom. What was his length? His was the square, remember? So both sides were 9 feet. So the length was 9 and the width was 9. And 9 times 9, you remember our hands? If I put down that ninth finger, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's my ring finger on my right hand. That builds my wall. I have 8 and 1. So 9 times 9 is 81 square feet. They've already labeled it, so his area would also be 81. Length times width, we get 81. Now let's do Suki. I'm gonna scroll up. She did not have a square, she had a rectangle room, so her longest side was 10, wasn't it? 10? I'm gonna keep my 81 here just so I have it when we get down to the bottom. And Suki's shortest side was what? 8? 8, I think. What's 10 times 8? We can count by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So Suki's bedroom is 80 square feet. So let's look at our number. Tyler's was 81. Suki was 80. So whose bedroom is the greatest? Tyler's. Tyler has a larger number than Suki does. So Tyler has the bedroom with the greater area. Explain how you found our answer. Explain how we got. No, explain how you know the area of Tyler's bedroom must have the label square feet because it was measured with feet. It was measured with feet. Try it. Use what you just learned about multiplying to find the area to solve this problem. Show your work on a separate sheet of paper. I think we'll have plenty of room to work our problem on here. It says Fran found the area of a rectangle by multiplying 5 units times 4 units. Draw Fran's rectangle. Label the length and the width. What is the area of the rectangle? So they want us to draw a picture. We have room here. We need a rectangle. Remember, a rectangle has to have 2 long sides and 2 short sides. We want to label the length. So our long side is our biggest number. So our length is going up here. And I'm going to write length so we know that that's where my longest number is, 5 units for length. And label the width, the short size width, so I'm going to put it here. So 4 units would be my width. And then it asks me to find the area. So to get area, we do length times width. And what is 5 times 4? 5, 10, 15, 20. And we got to label that 20. I'm going to write units, and then I'm going to square it by putting my little floating, I forgot my S, didn't I? My floating tip, we'll squeeze that S in there. So 20 units squared. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're actually going to tear out 2 red pages. That's going to be working with length times width. So in your red book, you're going to need to tear out page 303 and 305. Length times